Good morning friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we are studying about the mean free path. Now let us consider about the mean free path. To explain about this, first we are telling that, here we are telling that the molecules are always moving in a straight line with an uniform velocity. The molecules are always moving in a straight line with uniform velocity. It does not depend upon any other collision, or it does not take any external force on the collision. This length is called as the free path, and the distance between the two successive collisions is called as the mean free path. The distance between the two successive collision is called as the mean free path. Now we can write the number of the collision of years. The number of the collision of the years can be denoted or can be written in the terms of the lambda. In the terms of the lambda. Here lambda we are calling as the mean free path. Lambda is called as the mean free path. Now lambda is equal to, we can write S by n. Lambda is equal to S by n. That is the distance between the two successive collisions of a molecule is called as the mean free path. Now next we have to study the derivation of the mean free path. Now let us consider the diagram. Now here we are considering sigma, and here we are considering V into delta T. Now according to the diagram, first we are considering the length of the cylinder. The length of the cylinder we are considering length of cylinder L is equal to V into delta T. Length of the cylinder L is equal to V into delta T. Now in this condition delta T is the change in the time. Now let us consider delta T is equal to 1 second. Delta T is equal to 1 second. Therefore L is equal to, we are getting as L is equal to V into 1 second, or total answer N is equal to V. Now next we are taking that the value of a cylinder. Now let us consider from the diagram the value of a cylinder. The value of a cylinder, pi sigma square into V. The value of a cylinder, pi sigma square into V. Therefore next we can write the number of the molecules. Number of the molecules, we are considering number of the molecules N is equal to pi into sigma square V into small n. Pi sigma square V into small n. Therefore the number of the molecules, the number of the collision made by the molecules of M is capital N. Of M is N. Now we are considering that the frequency of the collision. The frequency of collision, we we are considering F is equal to N is equal to pi sigma square V into small n. F is equal to N is equal to pi sigma square V into N. Therefore, the average time between the two successive collision can be written as T mean is equal to 1 by F is equal to T mean is equal to, we are considering 1 by F. We know the value of the F. 1 by F is 1 divided by pi sigma square V into N. Now next we are considering here in the last here average time between two successive collision here taken. Now here we are considering the average time between two successive collision in the mean free path. In this mean free path can be denoted as lambda. Lambda is equal to, we are considering T mean into V. We know that the value of the T mean is equal to 1 by pi square into V into N and into V. Therefore, the total answer, or cancel the terms which get cancelled, we get cancelled. Therefore, 1 divided by pi sigma square into N. Now, according to the Maxwell's, the law of, here we are applying the law of the velocity. According to the Maxwell, the law of the velocity we are obtaining the law of velocity. According to the Maxwell, we can write the equation as lambda is equal to 1 divided by root 2 into pi sigma square n. And this can be also expressed in the terms of the density. When we are writing the mean free path in the terms of the density, first we are considering rho is equal to m into n. Here rho means what? It is the density, m is the mass, and here we are considering the density of a gas. The density of a gas, rho is equal to m into n, and we can also find the value of the n. Therefore, n is equal to rho by m. N is equal to rho by m. Now, the equation for the mean free path in the terms of the density can be written as lambda is equal to m divided by root 2 into pi r square into rho. Lambda is equal to m divided by root 2 into pi r square rho. This mean free path is in the terms of density. Now in the same way, we have find here density. In the same way, we have to find for the pressure. Now next, we have to write the mean free path in the terms of the pressure. In the terms of the pressure, first we are considering the perfect gas or the ideal gas equation. We know that Pv is equal to nRT, where n is equal to, we are considering the 1 mole of the molecule. Now in this case, according to the perfect gas, we are considering the equation as Pv is equal to RT. P is the pressure, V is the value, R is the universal gas constant, T is the temperature. Now P is equal to, we can write the equation as RT by V. Pressure P is equal to RT by V. Or this can be also written in the form of N by V into R by N into T. Just we are putting the value N by V into R by N into T. Now here we can write this equation as N into kVT, where kV is the Boltzmann constant. kV is the Boltzmann constant. Now in this condition we can write N is equal to, we are considering the formula as pressure by V, P by V. Now we know that V is equal to, we are writing as the kVT. V is equal to P divided by kVT, where kV is the Boltzmann constant, P is the temperature, P is the pressure. Now again we can write that we have to write the wavelength in the terms of the pressure. Therefore lambda is equal to kVT by root 2 into pi sigma square into P. Lambda is equal to kVT by root 2 pi sigma square P. This value we have written in the terms of the pressure. In the terms of the pressure. In the condition of the mean free path, first we are finding in the density and other one we are finding the pressure by using the diagram. Now the mean free path is, now to explain about this, first let us consider the Maxwell law of velocity. First one equation we have taken here, lambda is equal to 1 by root 2 into pi r square n. And again one more we have taken in the terms of the pressure, lambda is equal to 1 divided by, kVT divided by root 2 into pi rho square into P. One we have taken in the terms of the Maxwell in the law of the velocity, and other one is pressure. Here we have to study that mean free path, which depends upon the directly proportional and inversely proportional. Now by using these two equations, first we are telling that first one, it is directly proportional to the the absolute temperature of a gas. Directly proportional to the absolute temperature of a gas. That is capital T. Now second one we are considering here, it is inversely proportional to density of a gas. And it can be denoted as rho. Third, we can write that it is inversely proportional to the pressure of a gas. That is capital P. Pressure of a gas. Now next we can tell that it is inversely proportional to the we are considering the number of the molecules per unit value. Inversely proportional to the number of molecules per unit value, that is small n. Now that is small n. Now next one we are considering, fifth point we are considering that it is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area of a gas. Cross-sectional area of a gas We are writing the equation as pi sigma square. This is for the cross-sectional area of a gas. And last one, we can tell that it is always independent of the speed of a molecules of a gas. Independent of the speed of the molecules of a gas. Okay. Therefore, here we can tell that according to the Maxwell law, when we are applying the law of the velocity, we have get the equation as the lambda is equal to 1 divided by root 2 pi r square n. In the same way, we are considering the pressure. Mean free path can be written in the form of the pressure, that is lambda is equal to kBT by root 2 into pi sigma square p. By using these two equations, one is Maxwell and other one is pressure. By using these two, we can tell that the mean free path. First one, we can tell that it is directly proportional to the absolute temperature T, and it is inversely proportional to the density of a gas rho, and inversely proportional to the gas, that is P, and inversely proportional to the number of the molecules of a gas we are considering as the small n, and it is also inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area of a gas. If you are considering the cross-sectional area of a gas, we have taken pi sigma square. And last one, we can tell that it is always independent of the speed of the molecules of a gas. This is how the mean free path depends.